Guys, so welcome to James TV. Today we are going to talk about introduction to biology. Introduction to biology. Now, biology was taken from two Greek words. This must be noted. Biology was taken from two Greek words. We have one as bios, and the next one is logos. This must be noted. You see, so when they talk of bios in Greek, it means life. And logos means to study. To study is here. So biology simply means study of life. It's not difficult. This must be noted. Biology means study of life. Now, in the primary school, we were taught that things that have life in them are referred to as living organisms, right? They are said living things. They are living things. But when you come to biology class, we say that things that have life in them are called living organisms. They are called living organisms. This must be noted. All right. So in biology, we say that things that have life in them are called living organisms. And what are these living organisms? When we say living organisms, they are things that have a breath, they can grow, and they can also reproduce. So, for example, we can have. Now, biology was grouped into three main groups. Biology was grouped into three main groups. And what are these three groups? This must be noted. The first one is plant. I have the first one as plant. The next one is animals. And the last one is microorganisms. Microorganisms. So biology grouped living organisms into three main groups. The first one is plant, the next one is animals, and the next one is microorganisms. Now, in biology, when you are studying plant, we call it botany. Botany. Now, when you are studying animals in biology, we call it zoology. This must be noted. Zoology. Zoology. And when we are studying microorganisms, we said it's microbiology. Microbiology. This must be noted. Microbiology. So these are the three main groups of living organisms. And these are the three main groups of biology that we have. The first one is plant, the next one is animals, and the last one is microorganisms. And when we are studying plant in biology, we said it's called botany. And when we are studying animals in biology, it's called zoology. And when we are studying microorganisms in biology, okay, when you talk of microorganisms, they are the organisms that we cannot see with our naked eyes. So normally they use a microscope to view that organisms. So, and when we are studying them in biology, we call it microbiology. And these three groupings was done by a person called Aristotle. Aristotle is the one who grouped these living organisms. Aristotle. All right. So Aristotle grouped living organisms into three main folds. And Aristotle got the title as the father of biology because he's the first man to group living organisms into three groups. Right. And Aristotle was also a botanist. He studies plants and living organisms, how they behave as well. But when you take plants, for instance, we have different kinds of plants and their species as well. So after this man, there was a certain man called Paulinus who also introduced the taxonomy naming of living organisms. So after many centuries, after the death of Aristotle, this man also came and also grouped living organisms according to what. So we have other branches of biology as well. So in biology, when you are studying, so in biology, we have other branches in biology as well. So when we study the environment relation to biology, we call it ecology. We call it ecology. Or other people may say environmental biology. They are all the same. Environmental biology. So when we are studying the environment in relation to biology, it's called ecology. Now, when you are studying the internal structure of living organisms, it's called anatomy. Anatomy. So that when we're studying the internal structure or what makes a living organism, it's called anatomy. And when we're studying the external structure of living organisms, it's called morphology. What morphology? All right. And when we're also giving organisms two names, according to scientific, we call it taxonomy. And this is the main topic for today. We call it taxonomy. So taxonomy was done by a person called Carl Linnaeus. And taxonomy was done by a person called Aristotle. After the death of, it was done by Carl Linnaeus after the death of Aristotle. So many years back or many centuries back, Carl Linnaeus also came in and grouped living organisms and gave them two names, right? So he grouped taxonomy into two. The first one is classification. You have classification, and the next one is binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature. All right, when you talk of the binomial nomenclature, it means that he gives the organism two names. So the binomial means the genus name, and the nomenclature means the species name. The species name. All right. So let's take, for instance, human being. In scientific, we said human being is called Homo sapien. So let's take Homo sapien, for example. You have Homo and then the sapien. In any time you are writing scientific name for living organism, you have to make sure that the genus name must start with a capital letter, and then the sapien name or the species name must also follow by a small letter, and you must also underline it so that we can see that it is scientific name for living organisms. All right, now let's go to the classification or the categories. Now, he classified living organisms into seven groups. The first one is kingdoms. The first one is kingdoms. The next one is phylum or division. The next one is phylum or division. And the next one is class. You have class. The next one is order. And the next one is family. Group them into families. And the next one is the genus. And the last one is the species name. The species name. So this is the classification which was done by Carl Linnaeus. So he grouped living organisms into classifications or categories. So the first one is kingdom. We have the phylum or the division, then class, order, family, genus, and the last one is what? The species name. Now, let's talk about the kingdom. When you say kingdom, we have 5 kingdoms. We have kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, the kingdom Protista. We have kingdom Plantae, we have kingdom Plantae, kingdom Animalia, we have the kingdom Animalia. And then we have kingdom Fungi, and yes, kingdom Fungi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the 5 kingdoms that we have. So I'm going to use African elephant to explain all of this. So let's look at it. We are using African elephant and human being to explain the classification, which was done by Carl Linnaeus. So when you think African elephant, they are from the kingdom called Animalia. So they are from the Animalia kingdom, Animalia. And human beings are also from Animalia. We say human beings are also animals, but we are in the high class of animal. So we are also Animalia. Animalia. All right. Now let's go to the division or the phylum. When you talk of the division, when you are classifying plants, then we use the division. But when you are classifying living organisms like human beings, we use the phylum. So human and an African elephant is from the Chordata phylum. As Chordata, Chordata. Then human beings are also Chordata. We are Chordata. But our code is notochordata. Notochordata. Now, when you talk of a chordata, it means that organisms that have a backbone, right? So organisms that have backbone are referred to as chordates. That's their phylum. All right. Now let's go to your class. Our class, we say that we are mammals. We are mammalian, mammalia. Then human beings are also mammalia. Why are we saying we are mammalians? Because we have hair on our skin. That's why we also say that we are mammalians. All right, now let's go to our others. You say that human beings are primitive. We are primitive because we have the ability to think. And then African elephants are proboscidei. They are the proboscidei. Yes, because they cannot think as human beings can do. Now, let's go to their family. We say that human being, our family is Homo. Hominidae. Our family is Hominidae. Then African for human being is Hominidae. Then that of elephant is called Elephantidae. Have the Elephantidae. All right. Now let's go to the genus name. The genus name for human being is called Homo. All right. And the genus name for African elephant is called Losodonta. Losodonta. All right. Now let's go to the species name. The species name for human being is Sapien. And then the species name for African elephants, they are from Africa. So we said they are You say that they are Africana. That's the species name for African elephant. They are from Africa, so they are Africana. All right. So these are the classification which was done by Carl Linnaeus. So this brings us to the end of our video. If you find it helpful, make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe as well. God bless you for watching. Thank you.